Hey guys, it's me, it's your best friend, and what we have here, Diablo 4 quarterly update, September 2020. Am really looking forward to this game. I'm really hoping it's going to be good, I thought, you know what, I should start talking about this game and covering it and stuff like that because this is what I'm really looking forward to. This is the one game I'm not disappointed. Anyway, let's cover the quarterly update. It just came out today, which is September 29th. So, to the Diablo community, hello and welcome to a new installment of our quarterly Diablo 4 update, dev update. We enjoy hearing your thoughts and on our last blog, and I have followed many of the discussions to kick it off within the community. It's very encouraging for us to hear that you appreciate the steady update cadence and the behind-the-scenes look at our early work. We're also excited by all the positive reactions that we're seeing to the art, cinematics, in addition to the open world gameplay. Yes, I really like the open world gameplay. I'm really excited for that. I love that you can randomly run into people and you don't create games anymore. I really like that. That's one of the things so far that I'm looking forward to the most, other than the art is fantastic. To the Diablo franchise, the team has poured over a lot of constructive feedback regarding the current direction of the itemization. Thank you. Because the itemization right now is... I've been recently playing a lot of Diablo 2, and I'm comparing it, and the itemization... Don't want a D3 itemization, that's for sure. And we're looking, and that feels like where they started. Anyway, we're looking to give you an update on items later in the year. Looking forward to it. Some of the progress we made will speak directly to the questions that we've seen raised in the community, so stay tuned. I couldn't be more excited to share the details of today's update. I imagine it's excitement and a little bit nervous as a developer sharing your stuff. Designer David King will take on us a deep dive into the ins and outs of the new skills and talent systems. We are currently playtesting the new systems, and the early feedback is super promising. I hope you enjoy it, and as always, we'll be in the following conversations. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, and that was Luis Barriga, I think. Today, we're going to look at skills and talents. So I'm a little bit excited about this because I think what I'm hoping for, is that the skills and talents are not spammable. They are situational, like not always situational, but just more situational, that they're more effective if you target certain opponents at certain times or whatever, certain enemies at certain times. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for something that is a lot more strategic and a lot less spammable. And if you spam it, you actually are. It's a lot. Like you're going to be wasting a lot of potential damage and crowd control and whatever it might be. Anyways, that's what I'm hoping for. First, a quick update on the things that we shared in our previous dev blogs. Okay, to begin to let you know, the fantasy of ancestral, demonic, and angelic power just isn't cool enough for the current version of the patch. Okay, I had mixed feelings about that. I like that they were trying to tailor it to the Diablo, ancestral, demonic, and angelic power. But I also didn't like it at the same time. I felt like my character shouldn't be funneled into whether he's demonic, angelic, or ancestral. If I want to make character, I want to his attributes. I want it to be he's a fast, quick guy, or he's a beefy dude, or he's a skilled, I don't know, whatever, I want more of those types of things at the core of my character, not whether he's demonic or angelic or ancestral. Anyway, duly noted, another problem we identified was the ratio of effort to rewards. For example, in order to gain specific minor bonuses, players would most likely have to carry around several extra pieces of gear, each with different amounts of ancestral. Yeah, I felt like that might be a problem too. You could do the same thing with dexterity, strength and stuff like that, and vitality, and you can make it like dexterity, reflexes, strength, spirit. I don't know, but it could have that you unlock certain things at certain stat levels. Just like the way they had the ancestral and demonic, but it's more akin to like your actual character. Anyway, however, one thing we really liked about the system was the gameplay of managing stats in meaningful ways. What I was just saying, yeah. So like if you had like this amount of dexterity, it would unlock like, and then there's a bow that you had, and if you had 50 dexterity, then you also get like it would fire 2 arrows. I don't know, or increase spell damage for certain skill, whatever. Instead of locking the entire bow behind a dexterity requirement, you could lock certain attributes behind it. Again, just like kind of what they had. Anyway, however, we really like the managing the things, certain thresholds that make it your items better suited to playstyle that you're going for. We need some more time for iteration rework here. Look forward to sharing more itemization the next quarterly thing. So yes, I think it should be more like the character stats. That's what I think. Not this angelic stuff and whatever. I think it should be, have those core stats, and maybe even those core stats can affect things. I always wish in Diablo 2, like if you leveled up energy, your I think it does do some of this, but your energy regeneration would be faster. Maybe your cooldowns would be shortened a tad, and like I don't know, some other stuff that it might do as well, and then unlock extra attributes for certain items. Anyway, I think I've re-explained myself too many times there. Legendary items. We are exploring some big changes in this space for 2 reasons. We agree that the feedback that a character's power is currently too dependent on items. Yes. We plan to put more of the player's power back into the character and make the build choices more impactful, rather than have majority of players' power coming from items that they've equipped. That said, it's important that we strike the right balance so that itemization choices still always feel meaningful. Yes, I don't like when items dictate your character, where like your character, it's kind of a dance. It's a balance between the two. So I really agree with that. Number 2. We've also had mixed team feedback regarding core itemization. We're currently looking at how to best differentiate our various item qualities. For example, should magic quality items have higher fixes stats than rare items? I think magic, yes. I think that would be a really interesting thing. If magic items have the potential to be a bit higher than rare items when it comes to their potential stats, but rare items have more stats on them. So rare items are almost like usually better, but every once in a while you'll get a magic item that has a much higher stat, but only has 1 or 2 instead of 3 or 4 that the rare one has. So I do agree with that. I think that's something, because then it gives meaning to magic items. So rares, are usually better, but, you expect to hear more about that in the next blog. New skill system. All right. Let's see. Ooh, geez. I really like how it's scary and stuff. I don't like the tree, though. It looks very, I don't know. Anyway, that's interesting. As Louis mentioned, we have made some major changes to Diablo 4's skills and talent system. So I'm assuming the roots are talents, and then the branches are skills, is my guess, because it's like the root of your character, like his stats or his what he's good at, and then the more outward kind of specific abilities and skills and crap like that. But because it feeds your talents feed into the spells is what I was trying to say, like roots feed into branches. We've been reading through a lot of the comments. We agree that talent system needs more depth. Similarly, skill systems progression felt too simple. Yay, I love what I'm hearing so far, which created issues where a player would have no meaningful reason to spend their skill points. Huh. Yeah. With this valuable feedback in mind, we have iterated on the new literal skill tree system. As you can see from the screenshot below, we have separate sections for skills and passives in our freshly painted skill tree. Take a look. Okay, so I really like the idea of the skill tree looking like, this is so not important. I was gonna say it though. I like this idea though. I think it's kind of cool, but I also don't like the way it looks. It kind of looks a little bit messy. Um, I like the idea of skills and skill tree being like a stained glass window for Diablo. I like the idea. The skills are like things on the stained glass window or different panes, a part of the stained glass window, and the whole thing visually looking like a cool stained glass window. It's very gothic, and I don't know. I think it would look kind of cool. It has some bright colors, but a good excuse for those bright colors, especially when you level up a skill. It like lights up when you grab a skill. So I like that idea. They kind of did it actually, the stained glass window idea with the icons, but I feel like they should. Oh, okay. So you zoom in on it, I think. Okay, so it won't look as messy. I should just stop talking. Uh, the upper skill section is where you spend the skill points that you earn by leveling up. Here you unlock brand new skills and unlock skills and unlock additional functionality for these skills and unlock passive points that you can then spend on lower passive sections of the tree. Okay, so the passives are down here and the actives are up top. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. Charge bolts with an S. These 6 bolts of lightning, an erratic pattern dealing damage. Okay, 18 to 22. Ball lightning. That's from Heroes. Conjure a ball of lightning that slowly moves forward. Oh, that's not from Heroes. Zapping enemies for 25. Okay. So I really hope they do the lightning damage that they did in Diablo 1. I like that. So one of the things that I want to see, just from looking at these, is that elemental damage had an identity, and I really hope they continue to do that. Sometimes it broke that identity a little bit every once in a while. But like, for example, lightning damage did like 1 to 100 damage or like 5 to 1,000 damage, you know? So I liked that lightning damage had that big range as part of its identity. You could maybe even further that with like crit damage. When you critical hit, it does like, it shocks other enemies around it, no matter if it has splash or not, you know? Like it jumps to other enemies every time it crits. That could be part of the identity of elemental, like the lightning damage. And then fire was usually like the best damage or the most steady damage, but it didn't have the damage potential as lightning. And then poison had overall the best damage. It's funny because they all have like the best damage in a way. Poison had overall the best damage, but it just took a lot of time to kick in because it's like 1,000 poison damage over 10 seconds, and it was like, so it took a while. And then ice had the effect of slowing or freezing enemies. So I really hope they add an identity. I think it would be a really smart idea to add crit effects to each element across the board. So yeah, lightning would jump to other enemies. Fire could set an enemy on fire and deal damage over time. Poison could maybe start to make them like miss or slow them down if you crit with it or something. I don't know, like because they're like all like, ooh, I feel sick, you know. I don't know. And then ice could freeze them. But yeah, so I really think if they give the elemental damage an identity for each elemental damage, I think that's a very smart thing to do. And I think it's a really well needed thing to have, because then you know what you're up against when you see it. And it can break its mold every once in a while. You can spend skill points on square nodes to unlock new active skills for your character. Okay, so you go boom, you unlock it, and then this is spend points on a circular upgrade node to enhance active skills you've unlocked. Okay, so charge bolts. Charge bolts creates an additional bolt. Okay, it's not too exciting, but like that's fine. Ball lightning collapses into crackling energy at the end of its path. What does that mean? So it just stays there for a bit? Ball lightning, conjure ball lightning that slowly moves forward, zapping enemies. Hey, yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, so as you explore the branches of the tree, you will find passive points. Oh, okay. So there's passive points up here too. And they do overcharge. Critical hit effects. Lightning damage has 3% to create a crackling create crackling energy. What is crackling energy? Okay, that's cool. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Yay! Okay, so that's part of it. I still want the damage to be the thing, but that's cool. Okay, cool. Crackling energy gives you 25 mana when you move near it. Oh, that's cool. There, it explains it. Okay. I like that. That gives you options, gives you some strategy. It makes you move into certain positions. You can spend passive points in the roots of the tree to unlock powerful effects. Oh, wait, what? Oh, so you find more passive points up here. They're also in the roots. Okay. Interesting. The skill tree you see above consists of many specific nodes, a sample of which you can see in the screenshot above. If we manage every single node on that massive skill tree affecting different skills in different ways, the path that you decide to take will determine big power increases and playstyle choices. Cool. Okay. The passive part of the skill system is where you'll find more general upgrades to your character. Okay. Okay. So in the roots, it's more general. And then in the branches, more specific passive stuff. These effects are not specific to particular skills. Cool. That's why it's just any lightning. But these ones are... Oh, they don't say, but... Okay. Yeah. These effects are not... Therefore, this skill tree will have good mix of all types of different choices for players to make. I like it, Blizzard. I like it. Okay. One last thing we want to point out, that players will not be able to acquire every skill tree node. Yay! We are currently aiming for 30 to 40% of the nodes filled in for Endgame. Okay. I think that's, yeah, that sounds good. So the players can have a very distinct and very different ways to build out their characters. Sounds okay. I mean, 30 to 40%, like, you might think, oh, that's only 3 different types of characters you can have. Three different types of characters that are completely different, but then you mix and match those 3 different types, and then you have a bunch of different characters for one class. Okay, so Sorceress enchantment system. Sorceress enchantment. Many of you might remember the Barbarian's unique arsenal system. Cool. So the Sorceress has an enchant system. So the unique Barbarian system, the arsenal system, was that he had 4 weapons, and he would pull out either like dual wielding or a double-handed blunt weapon or a double-handed blade weapon, which at whatever skill he was using for that time, which is cool. I like that. Their ability to smoothly swap between multiple deadly weapons, which greatly increased their power. We've also exploring unique class mechanics for other classes. I like this. This is cool. Because the Druid had the shape-shifting. I think that was his unique thing, but the Sorceress had nothing. Or Sorceress. The main goal for us here is to have unique class-specific mechanics in Diablo 4. Yeah! I like it. We have this goal because Diablo is the kind of game where many players try out different builds or classes, especially during seasonal play. We believe that the unique class mechanics with very different strengths and playstyles compared to other classes that will make exploring the different classes and playing the game much more fun. Yes, for the Sorceress, we've been trying out the enchantment system. This is how it works. Okay, ball lightning. Conjure ball lightning that slowly moves forward. When crackling energy would form, ball lightning is formed instead. Wait, what? Enchant slot effect. When crackling energy would form, ball lightning is formed instead. Ball lightning no longer collapses into crackling energy. Okay. So it continues to move forward? Or is it like, okay, so that was synergized with that other talent they showed. I wonder how that would work, because it moves forward, but which direction does it move forward when the crackling energy is made? I guess whatever is opposite of the character? I don't know. Okay. Mastery. What is this? Death? Ice? Fire? There's 2 fire. Oh, that's ball lightning. Okay, these are just... Okay, whatever. Ball lightning skill, unlike other classes, each sorceress has 2 possible effects. Okay. Sorceress skill can be placed into 2 locations: an active skill slot that every other class has as well, and a passive. Ooh. Every skill. Sorceress skills can be placed into 2 locations: an active and an enchant slot. If you place it, oh, that's cool. If you place a skill in the enchant slot, you can no longer use it as an active skill, but your character can instead gain a secondary bonus power. When crackling energy would form, a ball lightning instead, and ball lightning is no longer collapsing. So that's the enchantment slot. That's 25 mana when you move near it. Cool. Okay, I like that because now it's like, I wonder if you can. Cool. Okay, so it's like, I like that because I like that there's different enchantments instead of just one enchantment. Yeah, like in Diablo 2, there's just a skill called enchant, and it's just a fire enchant. And you do it on people's weapons, and then that's it. This is interesting. Ball lightning has an enchantment. You can gain a secondary effect instead of when you put it in the enchant. Okay, so the power you gain from enchantments is extremely significant, and you can currently make builds based around your enchantments, your active skills, or a mix of both. Very, very cool. Very sorceress-like. I like the way that the impact of that meteor. I like you can see like heat waves coming off it. Very cool. One thing that I hope they do is that some spells are slower. So I hope that meteor here it was slow in Diablo 2, and I think it was still kind of slow in Diablo 3. But I hope it's like maybe even like twice as slow, like a lot slower, and then but a lot more damage. I really would like to see, again, those identities pushed for each ability or element or whatever. I just want to see more of that, like more meaningful choices for those things. Anyway, here's an example of this system using Meteor skill. Meteor allows you to call a fiery chunk of rock from the sky. If you choose to slot it as an enchantment, you won't be able to control your meteors, but they'll fall onto enemies periodically. Oh. Well, that one hit. That one hit twice. Some pretty good randomization here. Right? This is without it, or is this, and that's with it? Active, yeah. Okay. So meteor showers are following you. Okay, I have mixed feelings about that because it's just happening all the time. Maybe when you're being attacked or something, it won't be happening in town. Only when enemies are nearby. If you choose to slot as a champion, you won't be able to control your meteors. The skills development may be different in the final game, obviously. Okay. We've been testing this class mechanic for a while now. The team feedback has been really positive. I think it sounds cool. It's very sorceressy, so I very like it. I very like it. I very like it a lot. The new system now empowers you to make some interesting choices to strategize around which skills you want to slot as an enchant. As an enchantment, as you won't be able to put one skill in both places. Very cool. A cost effect of that. I like that. That definitely changes up, gives you some options. We're also exploring a druid-specific class mechanic as well. Okay, so the changing isn't a druid-specific thing. I thought it might have been. We'll have more information on that to share in the future. Cool. Endgame progression system. Okay. Lastly, we have been hard at work on our endgame character progression system. This important feature is going to take a little more time. It won't be in the next blog, but we want to mention it here because the other significant source of power that comes from your class. It will be the other significant source. This system is intended to provide more depth and replayability than Paragon currently offers in Diablo 3. We and many Blizzard gamers have talked about the concept of easy to learn, difficult to master. Please actually do that. I don't want, this is the one thing, I don't want my character to only be good because of my items. I also want my character to be good because I know how to play my character well. I want there to be my own player skill involved. And I don't want it to be basically, I have better gear and better, and I'm higher level than you, so you can't beat me. I don't want that. I want there to be actual player skill. So yeah, I would like a difficult to master game. And that goes with both figuring out items, figuring out your skills, like the macro part, but then also the micro part when you're actually playing. We believe that the endgame progression system is where the difficult to master component will come in and should meet expectations of the most hardcore players out there. We're excited to read through the feedback from the community regarding our revamped skill and talent system as our new Sorceress enchantment system as well. We are also reading through the comments or forums, social media, so more feedback as always. Please remember that this is not final. The game is still actively in development. Your constructive discussions around these features will help Diablo 4's development. Yeah. Continue support. We'll see you in the next quarterly update. With itemization. Oh, I'm interested to see a good itemization. I really want to see it. Thank you, Davey Kim. Awesome. Okay, so that's it. So overall thoughts, at least my initial thoughts, without having to think about it. Why did I feel like it was shorter than it was? This is probably a long video, though. So I like... this sounds good. You have different options for passives. Some more general, some more specific. I wonder how you get the points. I wonder how you get skill points. So that'll be interesting to see. That sounds good. I have mixed feelings about the whole tree thing, even though it's a literal trees, which is I kind of like. But that's just a visual thing, so it's not important. I really hope they give elemental identity, as I was saying before. Lightning damage. This should be 2 to 45 damage, something like that. And this one should be like 3 to 60 damage. I don't know, like something like that. And then of course the stuff on top of it. Having a crit identity would be really cool too. As I said before, I think, I don't know, like if going into a fight you see fire, then you'd be like, okay, I know what fire can do. It might vary from skill to skill, but the core part of it, I understand what it can do, and same with lightning and ice and whatever it might be. So, yeah, but I do like the specific for passives for specific skills and then general as well. And the enchantment system, that sounds awesome. I like that a lot. That sounds pretty cool. The variety of options you get here sounds really cool. And to be able to build your own sorceress like that, to mix and match, I don't know, that's cool because you get the options of having more spells than just these 6. What is this arrow with fire on it? What is that? You shoot an arrow? So yeah. Another thing that I hope is different. Actually, not as different. So this is one thing that I hope. Okay, so I really hope there's a point to. This is kind of on a different topic or tangent. Like your regular, I feel like basic attacks, regular attacks should be a part of the game, at least up until a certain point. Like I really hope your first ability or your first 2 abilities does not replace your regular attack, like your left click here. I hope that's the last skill or the second last skill to be put into your left click, because like I don't know, like that's like in the past, like Diablo 2, when you left click, like when you put an ability on your left click, that means like you've made it almost. Like every time you click is going to be an ability, and but at the same time, I feel like having that, pulling it back a bit and having that, regular attacks is sometimes, that's good, especially for the first half of the game. It brings it down to reality a bit. You attack with your weapon. Did not like how you couldn't attack with your weapon for certain characters in Diablo 3. Like you're a demon hunter and you could actually make a build where you didn't attack with a bow at all, which is weird, but you have a bow. And I think just shooting an arrow is sometimes okay to have, Anyway, that's kind of a tangent, and I guess for another thing here. But yeah, I like that. Sounds good. I'm really excited for the itemization. I really want to see what they come up with. And anyway, what are your guys' thoughts? You can go. I'll leave the link below. Hopefully, I remember. Either way, you can go on the blizzard.news.com or the Diablo 4 website and to check out this. I'm sure it'll be on Reddit too and all that stuff. So, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you like the enchantment system? Do you like the skill tree? How do you like the way the spells are coming along or the skills here? Let me know. Anyway, I'm gonna go. That was cool, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.